G'day, Spice Legends. Welcome to Burner Bites Down Under, the hottest show down under. Spice Legends, we have a very special interview tonight. We're interviewing the Victorian Chili Champion as well as the Oceania Chili Champion, the Chili Champ of the Southern Hemisphere, Gabby Spicy G. She's taken on some pretty amazing feats already, and she's got another amazing feat ahead of her, the Australian Chili Champ. So we're here to interview her before she attempts this craziness. So let's get the show on without further ado, Spice Legends. All right. Hey, Gabby, the Spicy G. How you doing, legend?
Hello. Hey, Phil. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. Good. That's the way. And sorry for the sapia-looking point of view.
Yeah.
We had a bit of difficulties. That's why the other reason why we're a bit late, guys. Obviously, technology isn't our friend sometimes, and it wasn't Gabby's friend tonight, was it, mate?
Nah, not at all.
That's right. But we made it. We got here. So whether you're in grayscale or sepia or whatever, anyway, we still got you here, and we'll have a chat to you while we're going on. But matey, how does it feel to? We obviously we wanted to sort of show the world what you had in the Aussie Chili Champs after you went to New Zealand last year. But then we had a few mishaps as we were just talking with with technology. So given that that's sort of what got in your way last time, not actually problems with chili, and this year we're going to be live. How do you feel about that kind of way the contest is going to be held in difference to being online this year?
Oh, yeah, so much better because exactly that. It's going to be in front of a crowd, and there can't be any technical difficulties of that sort again. So
no excuses on both sides from
yeah,
the
exactly.
audience. So, no, but then I have to do all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It just makes things easier. So
no, that's okay. But yeah, you said you've got some of the stuff with you tonight from the last year's comp.
Yeah, I still got a bucket
did you
full.
say you're going to try and eat some of these things?
Yeah, for sure. So I still got quite a bit of stuff. So what I was showing you earlier, I still got the the Satan spear.
Oh yeah, that's nasty.
That boy.
My girlfriend carries around as mace.
Ghost chilies.
Oh yeah. That's from Children's.
Candy Reaper.
Candy Reapers. Yep.
Nah, this probably would be they're gone.
Yeah.
And they would be really stale. And I had and the chili peanut brittle.
Yeah, that's right. That was from Three Stings, that one as well. There's Three Stings are making a very special round this year. So what do you want to start with, mate?
What should I start with? What do you reckon?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, it's up to you because I don't know. Can you even feel it? Let's
go ghost chili.
Go ghost. Yeah, it's probably good to start. So to put in perspective, Spice Legends, you're just joining us. We're going to be starting about the habanero kind of heat for the Australian Chili Champs and working our way up all the way to pure capsaicin, 16 million Scovilles. So it's going to be one hell of a ride. Oh, Peter Eden says hello. G'day, Pete Eden. How you going? Hello. There you go. So what do we do? So Gabby's just starting eating some ghost chilies from Intense Freeze-Dried Foods. Gabby Girl Power says Nina Chili Herd. You. Thanks, Nina. Yeah, the girls, eh? That's the way. So, so it's funny. You're telling us that you don't really feel or taste chili. You just sort of taste capsicum. But was there a first chili experience where you came across it and going, oh, it's just capsicum? What happened there?
I think when I was little, I remember getting pizza with a friend. And I think I'd always just put heaps of the chili flakes on pizza. And I remember her being like, oh, yeah, I really like the chili flakes. So I was like, sweet, let's put heaps. And she was like, yeah, I'm really good with it. I can't feel it or something. And then, she ate it and she's just dying. And I was like, oh. I think that was like the first memory I have of being like, oh, I didn't really do anything.
Steve Brooker just below says, "G'day Phil, and congrats on keeping your belt, Gabs."
Thank you.
Why? That being said, like one of the weird things that like this sort of turns a lot of things on its head. A lot of people enjoy chili and they enjoy the burn, and like that kind of feeling that comes with their meal.
Yeah.
If that's the case for you, you don't really feel it. Do you enjoy chili? Like, is it a thing you put in your dishes, or what's the story?
No, not really, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of chili, actually. I like
That's
hot
kind of the
sauce.
irony to it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is a
Because
bit.
wouldn't everything sort of taste like capsicum?
Sorry?
If that was the case, wouldn't every chili just sort of like taste like capsicum to you?
Yeah, yeah. And I don't like capsicum too much either. Yeah, it's
So,
a big irony.
what was that?
It's a big irony.
It's a big irony, yeah. So, look, because you've got this kind of ability, this kind of skill, have you ever pranked anyone? Have you ever like just sort of gone, yeah, I'm just going to stonewall them I'm just going to pretend like there's no heat in it, and they're going like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What's wrong? What's wrong? Like, have you ever done that because you've just figured out you've got this ability?
Well, I hadn't before, like my first comp, and before anyone knew that I didn't feel it. So now I've tried to do it after like the competitions, but then no one believes me, so it hasn't worked. I'm like, oh, do you want to try this? Come on, it's on. They're like, we know you, like we know.
Yeah, I know who you are. Cat's out the bag.
So I should have tried before I did any competition, but it's too late now.
Yeah, right. And so, like, for those that don't know you or don't know your story, can you sort of talk them through that first comp experience? Like, what happened? Like, why did you enter that first comp? Like, what drove you to get to that point?
Yeah, so I guess, yeah, what I was saying before, like just knowing since I was little that I couldn't really feel chili. And then, yeah, just toying with the idea of entering a chili competition for years, but then like not really doing anything about it. And then not last year, but the year before, I was like, actually, is there even a competition in Melbourne? Like, let's look it up. Yeah, found the chili champs in Melbourne. So I was like, sweet, I'm entering that just to see how I would go. And yeah, that's what I did. And I beat Greg and went to New Zealand, and all these things happened for me. So yeah, that's
And like that to win that comp as well. Like I've like being there in person now and seeing it go down. Yeah, the Melbourne Chili Eating Champs is nothing to sneeze at. It's a bloody hard competition, mate. You know.
Yeah.
And that was interesting too, seeing you in person compete in your hometown, kind of home turf.
Yeah.
And the only person I saw that had any millimeter of like possibly winning or beating you, was that little Chinese chick, I think she was. And and in the end, I think what got her out was she ran out of space. Like,
yeah,
you know, which is, hey, how you going, Vern? This is Vern from New Zealand. G'day, legend. Yeah, so that was kind of interesting because like that's probably the closest I've seen someone trying to defeat you as well. How did that feel? Where that was a moment where
that
you're
was
like,
close. Because I was getting really full as well, and they were also they served like in a couple of rounds this like chili infused tequila, and that was horrible. After eating
I could smell it.
Like,
I was standing around the stage. I could smell it from off the stage and going, that would be rough.
Yeah, that was hard. That was definitely hard.
Absolutely. And then there was that one round where you had to do like 13 rounds of stuff in one round. Like when you saw that big buffet of spice, what did you think? What was going through your head at that point in time?
I think at that point I was just like, oh, I think not much. Just thinking about my stomach, just like, man, I can't, but I have to.
And so, like, when that's the case, when it's no longer about heat, it's about what you can fit in your stomach. What keeps you going in that moment in time? Because that's a completely different discipline of all, isn't it? It's not worrying about pain or heat. It's worrying about how much of this am I going to be able to fit in.
Yeah. What keeps me going? I think what kept me going, I was like, I need the money.
Yeah, money does help.
Yeah, without a job, I'm like, that would be good money.
Yeah, exactly. And so that being said, obviously the Australian Chili Championships have got a few more rounds than the New Zealand one, like you say, and the Melbourne one. It's 30 rounds, and this year, I have to say, without a doubt, we have some of the most toughest competitors this year, including yourself. And I think that this competition is going to be on a completely different level this year, especially compared to last year and the previous years. Lucia Suarez, Ghostbusters G, you're the best.
Thanks, Mom.
I love you, Mom. Good on you, Mum. There is guys that are actively trying to train to either beat you or to your level, so they've got a shot at beating you. How does that make you feel this year, where you've got this massive target on your back? You know?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I'm flattered, really, because I've never been in the spotlight like that, and just to be someone that's trying to, like, you know, be at the same level with. It's just a wild thing for me, because I've never had experience with, like, never really being, like, competitive in many things. So to be like, someone wants to beat me. It's just an interesting. It makes me a bit flattered as well.
And so that being said, like, this year is a very special year. The winner gets to go to America, free flights and accommodation, which is nothing to sneeze at. That's pretty wild in itself. But then to compete on the world stage in the World Chili Champs, filmed on Netflix at Smoking and Curry's farm, is just wow.
Yeah.
Like, even when I was told that, like, you and your competitor can come, I'm going, whoa, this is a big deal. Like, it's a big deal, And so it's one thing to obviously win a comp. It's another thing to be immortalized on a streaming service, like, forever. How does that make you feel? Is that, like, nervous, excited, anxious? Like, what's the deal with that? If you win, like, that might be your chance,
I guess. Yeah, it's just unbelievable that just I never thought that I could take this far. Like, for example, at the start of, like, that first Melbourne competition, I never thought any of this would happen. Just to know that it's a possibility is just insane. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely. No, I completely agree, because, like, when I was told, like, it's weird getting messaged by Smoking and Curry, first of all. And then him just going, extending the invitation, going, you're welcome to come with your champ and whatever. I'm going, oh man, like, that's just, it blew me away, because, like, I was always planning to go to America. It's clearly the country is obsessed with hot sauce and chili products, and it's just is the epicenter of this kind of arena. But to actually go and somehow get a sponsor to cover the cost, obviously, we all know it's not cheap to fly halfway around the world. But then not only that, we're being able to stay at his farm will be a very interesting experience, seeing one of the biggest chili farms in the world. And maybe being able to have the chance, if we're very nice, please, Ed, to let us try a Pepper X. Like, that'd be pretty wild. It's supposed to be the hottest chili in the world, right? So it'd be cool to try that in person, because I know he's not exactly handing out samples, like, to leave with, but maybe you might want to try it on the farm.
Just to try. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. So, you sort of entered into this comp experience, and, like, it's kind of so weird and monotone in some ways that you don't really feel it. Like, that must be such a weird thing. But have you ever noticed, like, the people around you and, like, how they're affected? Is any of the effects that have happened to your fellow competitors, like, sort of stood out, or is there, like, a moment where you're just going, oh wow, like, this is something that I really have dodged a bullet here? Like,
oh yeah, like, every competition, I'm like, I look around, like, towards the last round, I'm like, whoa. Especially, like, when for example, like, the last New Zealand just a couple of weeks ago, one of the guys, he just, like, almost couldn't speak. It was like frozen pretty much. Just couldn't, like, nothing was going on. Just that to me was like, whoa. This is intense.
Absolutely. So Steve just commented below. He goes, I bet the Kiwis weren't super happy to lose it to you twice. No feeling would be awesome. And he goes, I love scorpions, but they make me cry at least 6 times.
Sorry, Kiwis.
So just, like, this was an interesting little anecdote. So when you won in New Zealand, I went and spoke to Shannon. I go, how you feeling, buddy? Are you all right? Like, not trying to be a dick, just so to have a chat with him and see how he's going. And we went through a few. I've went through a few things and talked about a few different things. And I said, so tell me, when it was down to just you and Gabby, what was that feeling? What was going through your mind? Where you're like, right, the last person I got to try and beat now is Gabby. What do you do? And I said, what was going through your mind? And he goes, this is what he said to me, right? He goes, thinking of that, just going you and him. He goes, just don't look at her. Just don't look at that bloody face. Don't look at that face. It's just so unaffected. He's just like, just don't look at that.
Fair enough.
I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right. I'm like, that's pretty solid advice. And I think that was, I sort of touched on that with Tom in the last interview. Tom's your Northern Territory competitor.
Yep.
And he sort of said the same thing. He's just like, oh, I'm just going to have to get the horse blinders on, like for the horse racing. Don't look at them. Just don't look. How does that make you feel when you've got competitors that are actively thinking and strategizing like that to try and compete with you or against you?
Oh, that's crazy. Like, I never thought I'd be like so good at anything, Like, you start doing something, you're just like, yeah, I hope I get all right. But then to just straight off the bat be so good, it's like, yeah, that's wild.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this is Chili Sauce Distributors, Jane and Gary Ardern from South Australia. These guys have been training Ben. So Ben's one of your competitors as well. Ben Pittman, the Flaming Ginger.
Yeah.
I've seen him do a couple of 16 million Scoville challenges and things like that. He's training pretty hard as well. So he was our latest ring in. He's the last guy to get in, but they've been training hard. And so I think that boy's going to be a bit hard to beat as well. But again, like I keep saying, it's the national comp. None of you guys are normal anyway. So like none of you guys are going to be easy to beat. But what's it called? With these guys actively training their competitors, how does it make you feel? Like, do you sort of feel like, oh, there's a bit of a threat, or are you just like, bring it?
Yeah, I'm excited to see, how long we're all going to hold out, and how everyone goes. Yeah, I'm just excited for it.
Absolutely. And so, like I was sort of saying there before, like the comp is going to be 30 rounds again. But like as you sort of seen with every year, and if anyone else has been following, we don't have exactly the same rounds. Sometimes we switch things in and pull things out and push it back around and sort of shuffle them around to sort of either work with the kind of feel we're going for that year. Like every year we want to have a particular vibe with the competition, and it's going to be one hell of a competition this year. We're keeping an eye on you, Gabs, says Chili Sauce Distributors. We're watching you. G'day, Ryan. That's one of my technical neighbours. We've got an inside joke. We're down the street from each other, but we're technical neighbours. But what I was going to say, it's going to be really interesting to see how everyone goes with this year, because as you sort of seen from the previous years, there's going to be a whole bunch of shots of sorts, right? We've got a couple of Aussie creations. We're going to have Australia's spiciest meringue is one of the rounds.
Meringue.
Yeah, do you know what a meringue is?
Sorry?
You know what a meringue is?
Yeah.
So, that'll be interesting. And then I think I was talking to you before. We've got a version of this thing. It's like a Tim Tam. It's like a really spicy Tim Tam. But apparently they said that this year will be nuclear compared to that one. I was like, oh. So, like, with these kind of treats and things in mind, one of the things that you said you may have struggled with in Melbourne was the amount of food. Does this being a comp with so many rounds, does that sort of concern you, trying to get that far? Because, like, one obvious disadvantage I will probably say put to you is you're probably the shortest competitor this year. So therefore maybe the smallest stomach, right? Does that concern you if they could try and match you on your heat levels, that they might try and outperform you in consumption?
That's true. That does worry me a bit. I think it worried me with your comp last year. I think when we started and I was like just looking at all the packages and stuff, I was like, that's so much food.
This is a lot of stuff. That's what people go, oh yeah, you Aussies think you do it. I'm like, no, man. Like, have you ever eaten 30 rounds of anything? Like 30 rounds, and then you go, then you make it stupid hot, and then you make it habanero heat from round one. Like,
So that does it is a bit worrying.
Yeah. And so, with that being said, what a lot of people I see are doing is they're training for these competitions in certain ways that are going to benefit them. And so, one of those ones is obviously getting that chili tolerance up.
Yep.
Do you think that one of the things you're going to be working on is building your consumption ability, is building stretching your tummy out a bit, a little bit, or trying to get more and more stuff in?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I'm pretty funny with eating as well. Like once I'm like a bit full, I'm like, I can't eat anymore.
Oh, really?
But,
Thanks, Ryan.
so I don't know if I can train for that, to be honest. But I know
Yeah.
that when the time comes, my stomach can probably take it. I can tell my stomach it's just one time. We can do that.
Is so? What's the motivation? Are you saying that the motivation for this is the money as well? You're just like, I need that monies.
That's part of it. Also, like, yeah, I guess like I have.
And you're like, free flights to the
said it
US,
last year.
like.
Yeah, that too. Also, I think someone said it last year that I became the Oceania champ before I became the Aussie champ.
I know
So-
that, and that's such a weird
So I
way
think
for
that
it to go.
yeah,
But it
it'd be
was
good
just.
to have that too.
Sorry, say that again.
It would be good to have that title as well.
Oh well, yeah, it looks better on the resume too. Like,
Just make more
Well, yeah.
sense.
would that be funny? So, like, in a sort of real world kind of scenario, have you ever mentioned this kind of stuff or like jobs or work related things? Like,
Yeah, I did mention it to like so I'm a dancer and I was at my dance class the week after New Zealand and we're doing our choreography and my teacher was like, oh, have you guys been practicing? And I was like, no, I was in New Zealand this weekend. They were like, oh, you just popped into New Zealand. And I was like, yeah, just for the weekend to eat some chilies. And they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, and I won. And they were like, what? You went to New Zealand for a few days to eat some chilies? I was like, yeah. Yeah, they're pretty like.
and some people must look at you absolutely mental, who's going,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. So it was funny.
So, what kind of dancing do you do, mate?
Belly dance.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do it with the snake at all, or?
Nah, no snake, but should be cool to have a snake one time.
Yeah. I was watching that show. Whose Line Is It Anyway? And they had to improv this stuff where they sung to these belly dancers while they had snakes wrapped around their shoulders and bellies, and this guy's like, like it's going for his crotch. He's like, he's like, the snake's going for the snake. Yeah. But I just want to bring up an interesting anecdote about the dancing thing, right? So when we were still, Burning Bites was still very young, we were going and doing interviews. We were interviewing the most unique people we could find. And one of the things we did was we interviewed a adult circus.
Interesting.
Right? So 18 plus circus is only adults allowed, right? So and there were some interesting acts. There's some really interesting acts in this show. And it's quite funny. But one of the guys, he's like an acrobatic kind of dude, and he was supposed to be in the interview eating chili with all the other guys. Was it? Oh, show us your moves. Says chili sauce contributors. Was it chili flute charmer? No snacks dancing, chili mash dance, more chili. So, yeah, the guy, he was like going to be in it, and then and I said, "Oh, what happened to the dude?" And he comes to me and goes, "I had to pull out." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "We had to do this new move," and I'm like, "What's the new move?" He goes, "I had to lift two girls above me with one arm each." Pretty big guy. He goes, "But if I put too much pressure on, then the pressure would have gone down that way, and I probably would have shat myself in front of hundreds of people." I was like, "Yeah, that's a pretty good excuse, actually." That's a pretty decent excuse, dude. And I'm like, "No, that's fair, you know."
Yeah, that's fair. That would be terrible. It's like worst nightmare scenario.
But I was going to say, do you have to deal with anything like that when you go back to dancing? Like, you don't have to let some fiery farts out or anything? Like,
Nah, it's all right. Yeah, no, it usually stays pretty good.
There you go. Oh, well, see, there's a lot of people that are going to be jealous of you. So one of the things we're going to try and get for you guys as well, unless you're saying you probably might not need this, this is the fire ass extinguisher. Right? you put it on your toilet paper after a really hectic chili challenge or something really spicy, and it helps cool down the downstairs. Here you go. Lucia says the chili dancer. So like, have you got like a best or a worst chili experience where you're just like, oh, they can't believe that this has happened? Because obviously the worst chili experiences for you are different to obviously other people because you're not dealing with the same problems and issues that they are. But have you got like a best or worst chili experience?
Yeah, definitely. I think last year when you asked this, I didn't have it, but now I do. But yeah, the worst one was last year after the New Zealand champs. I went out clubbing and I drank a bit, and then on the Sunday I was coming back to Melbourne and I was really hungry, and I think the chili makes the hangovers like a lot worse. So I was really hangover. Waiting like 5 hours on the airport because we got dropped off. Me and Greg were in the same flight. We got dropped off like quite early. So I was just we're just sitting there like in the food court. I was just like dying, like going to the toilet like every 10 minutes to throw up while we wait for like 6 hours or whatever till our flight. So yeah, that was probably the worst.
I can agree that being hungover and having to fly and waiting in an airport for hours is not a fun experience.
Yeah. Yeah, that was bad.
What do you reckon your best chili experience is so far?
The best. I reckon like winning the first Melbourne competition, because I was just so oblivious to the chili world before that. And I think it was that weekend and like a few days after where I got to be in the news. Then you contacted me for the first time telling me like I was invited to New Zealand, and I think that was probably, I was like, whoa, like I can't believe this.
What's going on? Who are these people?
I just had no idea about anything. And then just to have people like contacting me for this and that interview, come to New Zealand, I was like, oh shit. That was pretty unreal.
Was it beer for Gab end of each round? Don't know what that is. Fair enough. You reckon that would handicap you at all? Do you reckon if you had to do a drink at each round, would that make it better or worse for you?
Oh, that probably would make it worse. Definitely.
Because you're eventually just going to puke from too many drinks.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what does your family and friends think of all this stuff now? Now you've sort of come full circle. You've come from just sort of jumping into a comp, seeing what happens, to then absolutely annihilating people in New Zealand, taking an Oceania belt, defending it, being in the national comp. Now you're here again. Obviously, hopefully, no problems with weather. As I talk, it's raining outside now. Fingers crossed. But we've already got a plan B for that anyway. But is there what do your family and friends think of this craziness that you do? Like, do they think you're crazy or proud, or what is their opinion?
I think they're proud. Yeah, I think they think it's like something super random and crazy, but they're just proud and so supportive. Everyone's been really supportive. They think it's a funny thing, but they're just happy for me that I can do this.
And that being said, like one of the things I'm really proud of, being able to run a competition where it's such an even level playing ground, where you have women and men compete on the same level, and like black, white, Asian, whatever, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're from. If you're human, you can all compete in the same arena, which I'm really proud to be able to be a part of something like that. And I really hope that one day this does get recognized as like a sport or something, like. Because it is a sport. You've got to train for it. You've got to prepare. You can condition your body. Or every now and then, someone like yourself, comes along who are just naturally talented, that just have a skill or a talent that just no one can just sort of defend or defeat. Naturally. And there's this, and you see plenty of examples of like that where they're just people that, even though they've been trained, that they're just naturally talented. You see people like Usain Bolt, Ian Thorpe, where he just had gigantic flippers for feet. He's size 19 feet and he's 2.1 meters tall. He's a big boy.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here you go, Lucia. I'm very proud. There you go. See? Yeah. Thank you, man. Love you, man. Was it, who's your daddy, mama? Love you, man. Was it, do the road, daddy. Do the road. Was it, thank you, daddy. But I've lost my train of thought now. I'm throwing myself off. No, I just think that I think these chili competitions could definitely be in the realm of sport one day. I've seen sports that weren't considered sports, like Muay Thai, the kickboxing.
Yeah.
That's been accepted in the Olympics now as well. And I'm thinking, imagine one day of chili eating and competitions be accepted in the Olympics. Wouldn't that be amazing? Because
that'd be awesome.
Like it is like a sport. You do have to train for it. You do have to prepare for it. Or, like I was saying, every now and then, someone who's naturally talented, or genetics, does better than the other people, and you just happen to be one of those people. So it's just one of those things. Yeah. But what's that called? Will any of the family or friends be cheering you on at the Aussie Champs when you're there? Or
yeah, I think my mum and my stepdad they're gonna be just traveling around New South Wales around that time anyway, so I think they're gonna pop by, and I think my partner is gonna come with me as well.
Oh, awesome! Because I think I heard you were going to do some sort of like a road trip or something up there. Is that right?
Yeah, I think they're doing a road trip. So yeah, I think it's just perfect timing. They're just going to be in the area, so yeah.
There you go. Was it? Oh, Greeks invented it. Eat the chilies, Malacca. Make Zeus proud. There you go, Ryan. What do you think of that? The Malacca there, Gabby. That being said, like if you can't really taste chilies, then you're saying they mostly sort of taste like capsicums and that. Have you got a favorite like domain that you sort of go towards? Do you like more chili products like sauces and things like that, or do you more enjoy eating raw chilies? Is there something that you sort of go towards or lean towards?
Definitely sauces. Sauces. There's like especially like barbecue ones. I really like those.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, you sent me a thing. You put your chicken wings in tribute sauce. What was that? Was that any good?
That was beautiful.
Oh, there you go. So it goes good on chicken. Gabby does right. So Steve just commented below. I truly hope whoever wins can destroy all in the world comp. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Bloody oath. Oi, oi, oi. Good on you, Steve. So yeah, obviously, you're a bit more of a product. You like enjoy your products, and you don't really have to do any training, prep, and conditioning. You sort of show up. How does that make you feel? Where you sort of have all this pressure taken off you, and you just sort of just rock up on the day. Is there anything that you do before a comp? Like I heard one of the comps, you just had like a glass of water, and then people going, "What? Like, is that right?"
Yeah, I guess just drink as much water as I can before, be hydrated for it. Eat something good in the morning, make sure I have something in my stomach that's not too heavy. Yeah, just stuff like that.
And like, does the water help you like flush your system, or like what's the story with the water? How does it help you?
I don't know. I just drink a lot of water as it is, so I just I would think I'd rather be hydrated for something like that, especially because you can't drink for maybe like an hour or two. So I think just body wise probably works better if you are hydrated than not.
Yeah, I'd be concerned if it was me. I'd be concerned like if I'm sitting there for 2 hours that I need to go pee. Like
that's true. That did happen in New Zealand a few weeks ago. I did need to pee because I drank too much water.
That's what I was thinking. I'm thinking if I drank too much water, I'll be sitting there. I'm using this bucket for something else. Sorry. I hope there's something in the way. You don't want to see this. You're not ready for this. So we sort of touched on your mindset before about not running out of space in that. Considering that, like we just said before, there's going to be 30 rounds of this national comp, and it's going to be bigger, better than ever before. And we are going to be trying some pretty serious, heavy-duty stuff at you, not just height, but size-wise as well. And there's going to be a lot of liquid swirling around that stomach of yours and everyone else's. Have you got any thoughts on your mindset about stopping yourself from like looking or feeling queasy or fitting it all in, or like just your strategy mentally about that? Like, what's the deal with that?
Just push myself, and I think once I'm in yeah, like I don't think myself a very competitive person, but I've realized that once I'm in the spot, I get competitive. So I think it's
Once you're
just up to,
done,
like, if I start something, I have to finish it, or I have to, like, once I'm in it, it kicks in, and I'm like, nah, I do it till the end, sort of thing.
she goes, "You can't confess all the secrets, Phil. Come on." Sorry, Mum. Sorry. That's all right. So, like, I know this is going to probably sound like a far-fetched question, but like, have you got any advice to people that want to attempt this kind of stuff? I know that obviously, if you don't give things a go, you won't find out. But obviously, you know, you've got a bit of an advantage, you know, with the way that you approach things and the way that you receive chili. But have you got any advice to people that want to attempt or try the things that you've been trying and doing?
Yeah, I think just from being like in the chili world now, I think I've learned a couple of things just from other people. But yeah, I think most important thing maybe is like have some food in your stomach.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. And I guess just start mild and build your way up. Build up tolerance, I think.
So just don't walk off the street throwing a packing chip or a Reaper in your mouth. You know, it might end badly.
Yeah, or you could just do like the opposite and just go hard and whatever you want to do. If you prefer, be more adrenaline, then up to you. But I think just food before, probably.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. And the last question I wanted to ask is like, what's in the future for Gabby? Is Gabby going to be trying to dominate the world for like the rest of the next couple of decades, or like, are you going to attempt to break what's it called? The League of Fire Ladies record. She's got 97 chili competitions, won, 0 losses. Right? Would you ever attempt to try and destroy or beat some crazy feat like that? Because like it's one thing to see one woman do it, but it'd be another thing to see another woman beat that thing and take it in front of all the men and going, girl power, like, you know, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, is this your plans, or is this going to be more of a short-lived kind of chili career thing? What do you think?
I think I don't think I have it in me to do 90-something competitions, to be honest. I think
How
maybe
many done now?
similar. Sorry?
How many done now? You've done, was it 2?
5? 2 Melbourne, 2 New
Melbourne,
Zealand,
2 New Zealand.
Your one, so 5.
But yeah, you didn't get beaten. It's sort of like technical glitch thing. Yeah, so
yeah.
I don't know if that
but
yeah.
yeah, I think I'm like a bit similar to maybe like Greg. Just take it as far as I can. Maybe I think I'd like to do I think we've spoken about it, the most amount of Carolina Reapers eaten in one sitting. I think I'd like to try that.
Yeah, well, we can definitely arrange it for you, actually.
If I can go to America, obviously do that. But I think I can't do this for too long because I do feel like, I want other people to have a chance, like,
I know you were trying to say that as humbly as you can, but at the same time, that's a pretty funny comment there. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and it's it's the thing with like not being able to feel it. It does make me feel like other people deserve it more than I do because they train so much for it, they go through the pain, whereas that's not a factor for me. So I feel like there's other people more deserving than me. This is just a thing to see like how far I can take this, and then maybe once I've reached that, maybe that'll be it for me, and maybe just stick around for the odd thing here and there. But I think yeah.
Okay. Well, I suppose I better ask you that question as well. Like, if you do face Mike Jack in the World Champs, right? Have you got a strategy for that? You've now seen what he's like and how he competes in person. You are like almost face to face seeing him against Greg for the world belt.
Yeah.
Have you got a particular way or strategy that you're going to try and attempt to take him down if you do have to face off against him?
I think if America happens and if the possibility is there for me to go, then I think I'd have to start training speed eating for sure, because that's something I've never trained and I'm not a fast eater, so that's something that I have to like think about start doing, just maybe see what the record is for this and that and see how I do with that and maybe trying to get better at speed eating for sure.
That's actually a good point, because like I want to bring this up that they pushed in a speed round in New Zealand, and you had to eat the lunchbox in New Zealand, the 10 chilies there, right?
Yeah.
And that was a speed round, but I don't know whether you were really even pushing yourself with that one, because you were just sort of just shoving them in, you know. And like, I'm thinking, is this Gabby's true speed, or is she just chilling, munching away, just you know, like what was going through your head in that moment where
No,
you
I was
got
definitely trying to be fast.
okay.
Yeah, and yeah, so I went for the jalapeno first, which was the biggest one, and that was hard because it was the biggest one. Also, I don't know, I got my wisdom teeth taken out last year, and that left my jaw a bit funny. Not too bad, but just like, so I could feel it like halfway through that round, feeling my jaw like getting tired of like just chewing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So yeah, obviously that's something that to work towards if we're going to go take you to the Worlds, because yeah, we know that Mike Jack was definitely going to be there, and he's no pushover, as we've seen. You know, even though you said like, he does feel it. I saw him in the room when he faced off against Greg. 4.5 hours later, still getting stuff out.
Yeah.
And you know, even though he's a machine, even though he's got willpower, he does absolutely feel it. But like you said, he's trained to be there. He's come with a purpose, and he's got some pretty steely will. So despite your advantages, at the same time, that's going to be a disadvantage for you.
Yeah.
So that definitely something you're going to be working towards if you defeat everyone in the Aussies?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll definitely be trying to train that and getting better at it.
So that must feel a bit weird, sort of turning that on its head. It's like so then you've gone from just sort of rocking up to now like, oh shit, there's a part of this I have to take serious. How did that feel, sort of, from that side of things?
It's just, you know, like if it's the world, you know, championship, like, you know, it's not something easy. So of course it's more serious, you know, like it's getting flown to America and stuff like that. So yeah, makes sense.
Absolutely, man. All right, well, we might leave it there, but before we do, mate, is anyone you want to sort of shout out to, or give any shout outs to, or whatever, or yell out to, or
yeah, just shout out to Mum. Thanks for supporting me.
love you, man.
Yeah, also all my friends, partner, for supporting me and always like coming to the competitions and just being there. You know, for Clint, for, you know, inviting me over twice, and, you know, a couple of weeks ago, just how well I was looked after, and just you, Phil, for doing your competitions and everything, and just trying to promote everything chili. That's awesome. So yeah, just for everyone that's, you know, helped me get to where I am and supported me, and yeah, thanks everyone.
That's right. Awesome, man. All right. Oh, Tracy Chili. Oops, I'm a bit late. Yeah. Yeah, we're just about to sign off, Chili. Tracy Chili. Yeah, so that's Tracy Chili from South Australia. Yeah, she makes some pretty brutal products as well. She's done the last 3 years of the Aussie Champs, and she had one of her rounds in as well. But thanks, Gab, for jumping on and answering our questions before the Insanity. I think it's only 31 days to go. Is that making you a bit nervous?
Yeah, a little bit.
Nervous and exciting. I feel both nervous and excited myself as well.
Yeah.
Chili Sauce Distributors, good luck. Thanks, legends.
Thank
you so good luck to everyone, all the competitors. Oh, and that's the last thing I wanted to say, Gabs. Before the competition, you got to say anything to your competitors.
Good luck. Train hard, and I'm excited to see you guys. And yeah, all the best with your training.
Awesome. All right, mate. Well, we'll let you go. Have an awesome night. Thank you so much again for joining us, and we'll be seeing you in person very soon.
Yeah. All right. See you soon.
See you, legend. Bye. All right, Spice Legends. That's it for our spicy goodness. Thank you so much for joining our Gabby Spicy G interview, the Victorian and Oceania Chili Champ. Wow. Yeah, we've only got 31 days, 31 short days left to the Australian Chili Champs. Holy crap. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be full on. It's going to be hectic. We have the best competitors around Australia, including Gabby, the Spicy G, facing off. Who will be the domination and the machine of Australia? Who will represent Australia in the World Chili Champs? Who will be on Netflix? Wow, I don't know. But whoever it's going to be is going to be one hell of a tough competitor. So good luck to everyone. We're going to see you on the day. Don't worry if you can't make it to Sawtell Chili Festival. That's where we're going to be competing from. It's 20 minutes south of Coffs Harbour in New South Wales. If you can't make it on the day, tune into Burning Bites Down Under on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube for our live streams. We'll be live streaming it there. YouTube will be like this one here, this static, non-moving one, and then we'll have a couple of ones where you'll be roaming camera where you can see exactly from my point of view what I'm holding in front of me. So we'll have handheld as well as the static cameras. They're Spice Legends. But that's it for our Spicy Goodness Spice Legends. All I have to say for now is keep calm, be awesome.